All right, let's talk Wish for a second. I know this is the hot name that's out there. That's the one that everybody's on, retweeting all these things about how it's going to go up. It's going to be crazy. But one of the things that was passed around, I believe this was 2 days ago on June 21st, was a fairly large option activity that everyone's pretty thinks is bullish and is, oh my god, they're going to expect so much. They wanted to, Pokemon throw balls out, gotta catch them all call type event, where they went, they grabbed the 11s, 20s, the 13.5s, and the 2250s, and they thought, well, they're just stacking up for this giant push like AMC, GameStop. And I'm here to dispel that and kind of tell you what the realistic side of this trade could have been. Obviously, you don't really know what the underlying position for this person or whoever put it together is, but we can break it down. What do we see? All right. So when this comes across and people have this screenshotted, I have it screenshotted on my feed too as well. The trade all went together at once. All right. So most likely it's a spread and it's put together. All right. They target the 11s, 20s, 1350s, and the 2250s, but each one of those were attacked differently. All right. So the 2250s and the 20 calls were attacked onto the bid, which means most likely, doesn't necessarily mean entirely, were sold. All right. So that means that they're short those contracts. Now they also, on the 1350s and the 11 calls, all right, they were brought on the ask, which means they probably are bought to open those. So that doesn't mean that they want this to moonshot. And in reality, what they're actually setting up for, if this actually is the trade and this is what they want from their underlying as well, or whatever they're holding on, they would love a stall out between 20 and 30. All right. But if they don't believe in the event and they want absolutely, and things come crashing down, the hype dies down, they said, well, let's ride the hype. Let's be realistic with the hype. But if the name gets switched to the next big thing or Bex thing, whatever name comes across next, they want zero downside risk, which means that if it doesn't get up to, 10 or whatever plus, all right, they're going to literally not risk anything in order to make this trade come on. Now, the problem with this trade, though, if you replicated this, is that once it drives past 50, it's really going to start hurting them very bad. All right. So they don't want an AMC event. They do not want a GameStop event. They want this slow little grind out all the way up into the July 16th contracts. And they want it to stall out between 20 and 30. And that's where they'll make most of their money off of that. All right. So big misconception off the 65,000 contracts that were traded. You'll notice that on the screenshot too, there's a ratio aspect to this. They stacked heavy towards the upper side of the calls and then kept the 1350s and the 11 down to a lower amount. All right. So the way they structured this is a great trade, but if you can cap it so that you don't have that, unlimited loss potential, if it does go parabolic, I think you got yourself a really great trade for July. And I think you should really consider trying to fit this into your portfolio, your plan, whatever you want to do, because I think it's actually really good.